Hey guys, LevelCap here. Today is Monday, which means it's time for an episode of Loadout, the series where you guys, the viewers, get to pick a gun and customization for me to use. The way you do this is you leave a comment down below letting me know what kind of weapon and accessories you'd like me to run with, and I will pick one of the top rated comments for the next episode. Today's top comment comes from I Love Coca-Cola. He says, Rainbow Six Siege SWAT. Class is the Recon, primary is the G36C, RDS of choice, auto spotter, heavy barrel, angled grip. Secondary will be the M1911 pistol, iron sights, no accessories, and heavy barrels. Gadget 1 is the MAV, Gadget 2 C4, grenades will be the M84 Flashbang, field upgrade is Spec Ops. Use the MAV to figure out if there are enemies in the building you are entering and then blow up a wall with C4, throw a Flashbang to blind the enemies and wipe them down with your G36C. I hope you enjoy, and I love to see some Rainbow Six on your channel when it comes out. You are not alone. I am also really looking forward to seeing some Rainbow Six Siege, and I am most definitely going to do some videos for this channel. The game looks amazing, and the destruction is beyond what Battlefield has ever done, so I think people are pretty darn excited about that. Now, in terms of actually trying to destroy a wall with C4, throw a flashbang in, and kill the guys on the other side, that just didn't really happen. I killed plenty of guys with C4, and I flashbanged a lot of enemies in terms of C4ing walls, throwing flashbangs through, and then shooting them. The odds of that actually happening were very, very low, especially considering that so many of the maps in Battlefield just don't really facilitate that kind of gameplay. I did my best though, and if you stick around towards the end of the video, you're going to see a ridiculous C4 kill streak. Now, the G36C is a very cool carbine. It's something that I really appreciate the design of in real life. In Battlefield 4, it's not quite as good because it's got a lower rate of fire, but it does have extremely low recoil, which makes it easier to hit people at longer ranges. Also, the recoil is low enough that you can pretty much do back-to-back headshots with this weapon, which is what you're going to need to do to win a lot of firefights if you're up against people who are wielding weapons like AEKs and other things that shoot faster than this, which is pretty much everything in the game. It only has a 650 round per minute rate of fire, so you're pretty much at the bottom of the totem pole, the end of the food chain when it comes to damage per second. Now, if we actually pop up the Simthic stats here and you look over to the right side where the recoil is, you'll see a little 0.1 left, 0.1 right, 0.33 straight up. That is the weapon's recoil there, and it's extremely low. 0.1 left and 0.1 right is pretty much a dream come true when it comes to recoil control in this game. Considering that its first shot recoil is only 1.7 means you're going to have no trouble at all keeping this thing on target. And that's pretty much the saving grace of this weapon. You can be extremely accurate all the time. You're not going to do a lot of damage, but if you can put rounds in the right place, then it doesn't matter too much. Now, when given freedom to choose my own red dot sight, I actually put the Coyote on here. I'm getting a little bit more used to using the Coyote, and I'm preparing for the next big patch to come out that allows us to customize the color of our red dot sights. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change that red dot to a pink dot. It's going to be extremely visible all the time, and I'll probably end up just using the Coyote sight instead of the Cobra sight. So it's going to be a bit of a change for my standard weapon setup, but I'm actually looking forward to it. Now, here we are actually making use of the MAV on not just strike rush game mode, and what I'm doing is destroying all the spawn beacons and mortars from the offensive team. So I'm really slowing down the offense on this map, and I kind of feel bad for the team because any rush game mode where you have a large body of water between you and the MCOMs you need to get to means that that map is going to be extremely difficult. And I really wish DICE would stop designing maps like this, because it's kind of a problem, especially when most teams can't get past the first set of MCOMs. And here we've got our own little private D-Day sequence. For some reason, the infantry are all trying to swim ashore here, and they just have no cover, and I'm mowing them down. But you know what? I had to go through the exact same thing the next game. Now, despite the MAV's scouting potential, it actually ended up being a little bit more useful on the defensive side in terms of thwarting spawn beacons and that sort of thing, because that is really one of the more important things that you need to do as a defensive team, is eliminate the offensive spawn beacons so enemy teams can't get a foothold. And here we are on the attacking team. This was actually a pretty cool game because I don't think I've actually ever pushed through all the way on this map. The first set of MCOMs are always the hardest, and if you can get past them, then you actually have a real chance at winning the round on the offensive side, and you actually end up on the carrier at the end. I didn't even know that because I had never been this far in a rush game on this map. Now, the G36C does not have a fast bullet velocity, so hitting targets at further ranges that are moving can be a little bit bit tricky. It's definitely a gun that was intended for medium range, but because of its low recoil, if you have a stationary target, you can actually drop somebody at further ranges pretty quickly. And now, as you can see, our team's really gotten a foothold here. We got the first MCOM down, the second one is armed, and we're basically using lots of smoke and any gadget at our disposal to try and just thwart the enemy team. And you really have to here because there just isn't a lot of building cover. You're very, very exposed no matter where you go in this map. And I've been seeing a lot more smoke grenades pop up in Battlefield. Now that you have a much larger smoke grenade count and smoke grenades are more effective, they actually made the plume of smoke come out quicker and basically be more dense, so it's harder to see through it. A lot of people are running with smoke grenades because you get quite a few of them, so it's a really, really viable alternative to a standard frag grenade, which you only get one of. Now, we finally pushed our way onto the carrier in the end here, and I've decided that I'm just going to chuck some C4 down here because the enemy is dug in. And there you go, about 3 kills with that first check there, another kill with that next one, and I'm just clearing it out. Watch the kill feed here. Just chuck it over there, get 2 kills, chuck it that way, get some not a kill that time, but get a kill this time. It's just stacking up. And that really is what you have to do because this is a 64 player server, and when you get on the carrier, pretty much just confines you to a few hallways. 64 players, a couple hallways, you're not going to get through there without some high explosives. But anyway, the loadout was a lot of fun. The G36C performed well. It's not going to do you any favors in close quarters because of its extremely low rate of fire, but everything else about the gun is pretty darn good. And apparently the devs have never actually made it to the end of this rush game either because the waves are just clipping right through the carrier. It kind of seems out of place considering how good Battlefield looks in general, and then you see something pretty amateurish like this. Anyway, that wraps it up for this episode of Loadout. I can't wait to try out the G36C in Rainbow Six Siege and all the destruction in that game. Don't forget to leave your comments down below letting me know what you'd like me to run with for next episode of Loadout. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.